Welcome back to the Coaching Life Podcast. You forgot, I'm Chris Stewart, alongside across from my good friend and co-host, Coach Pat Martin. Long time no see.
Yeah, a little bit. It's been a while. Been getting a lot of grief from people.
We have.
I actually promised an episode to someone several weeks ago.
I heard those guys. I showed
Oh,
up
yes.
showed up at your field one day, and you had some high schoolers there, and they got excited for a second. They said, "Are you going to record a podcast?"
Yeah. I think the one that was asking was traveling, and he wanted to
Oh, you need something to listen to.
something to listen to. So
Yeah,
it's been a while.
it has been a while.
I bet I haven't looked on Spotify or anything. I bet we've got the moon going on our
that we were asleep.
inactive.
Yeah,
I think
inactive.
That's what happens
Yeah.
when you don't record an episode for so long. On a
I'm
podcast
sure we
platform.
lost some listeners. We'll bring it back.
Yeah,
we'll bring it back.
See if we can revive
Yeah,
it.
that's hard to believe. This is season 14.
Oh, is it?
Season
I was
14.
thinking about that on the way
New
up too,
season.
because I feel like I've always. I mean, I felt like I was always high on that when you'd ask me. I was like, season 12, and it was season 6.
Yeah. Well, it's confusing because we separate our seasons.
We have 2 seasons a year.
2 seasons
right?
a year. Yeah. This fall kicks off a new season, then we'll kick off a new one in the spring. Podcast for a few months and then take another few months off. Because our last episode was episode 211, and that was recorded on March 3rd.
Wow.
So 2 weeks into the season, the practice season.
Yeah.
And we basically said, nah, too busy for this.
Yeah. Yeah. We are busy.
We are.
It's kind of a segue.
We are
Into
very
what we wanna
busy.
talk
Coaches
about
are
today.
very, very busy. Yeah.
That's what we're going to do today, I think, is whine about how busy we are.
Absolutely. Whine about coaching. No. It's not whining. No whining. Just talking realities here. Yeah. But, hey, this is, if you're, I was just talking to a guy before you got here who is doing master's thesis on podcasting, and he and I met last spring, and he just happened to be in the building, and he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm getting ready to do our first episode of our podcast in months, actually." And he was like, "Man, I wish I could hang around. I'd hang out." I'm like, "Well, you should come on in." And so yeah, we're gonna get back into it. So and if you're new with us, this is what we do. We sit and talk about topics that surround coaching and parenting, being coaches and parents simultaneously, being players and just general fans, athletic directors, administrators. I think our podcast can touch a little bit of everyone. Today, our topic for today will certainly touch more than one group, all of those groups.
Yeah. I wonder we'll see how it'll be perceived. Maybe we'll get a bunch of emails telling us we're whining about stuff.
Maybe. Maybe. Well, we thought about, whenever we start a new season, we haven't been doing this in a while. It's really easy to want to come in and just talk about all the things that we've done since the last time that we were together. And there have been a lot of things.
Yeah.
I mean, you took 4 vacations in the last.
I don't think that happened.
You're not the vacation
I didn't
guy.
go on vacation this year, actually.
You guys do a fall or a winter cruise, don't you?
We did last year. I don't know that we'll do that.
Yeah.
Me and Chastity went on one. Was that last year?
You've done a couple.
And then the family went on one the year
gotcha.
before. So
Yeah.
you traveled the country this summer.
I have done a lot of traveling this summer. Yeah.
Went out and
took off
to Omaha to see some college baseball games.
watch the College World Series.
I think you gave West Virginia bad luck. They played worse.
They won their first one and lost the second one. Yeah, it was fun. When we were there, we saw them play twice.
Yeah. Then you just got back from the beach.
Just got back from my parents' house.
Oh, did you visit? Okay.
In Jacksonville. So we went to the beach. Went to a couple of different beaches there. Jack's Beach, Jacksonville Beach, and then
They
our
told you where
favorite
they
was a
lived.
place called Michler's. They did. They gave us the address and everything. And we showed up, lodged there. Didn't have to pay for lodging for 2 weeks, and so we were able to do other things. other more expensive things, like go to Sawgrass.
Oh, what'd you do there?
I didn't show you my videos and my pictures from there, did I?
Did you play there?
No.
That's what I say. So you just go and walk around.
There are a couple courses like you could play there.
Oh,
like
okay.
if you want to play the tournament players course, you have to be invited by a club member.
Yeah.
And you have to drop $775, and you have to pay or tip your caddy. You have to have a caddy. So no. And so there's the other course that you don't have to be invited by a member, but it's still $525. And this was the off season because it's summer. Like their in season is fall and spring.
Okay.
And yeah. So we visited. Anybody can visit. So we drove up to the clubhouse, which is a mansion. It's incredible. It's incredible. The drive there. As we're driving up, I should show a video, because as we're driving up, I'm looking at this grass on the side of the road, and I'm like, that's not grass, is it? Like, it's not. That's not the course. The course, like the first hole is over here. And I'm like, that's turf. That's got to be turf. Right? And so I slow way down, and I almost got out. It's like, no, you can see where it's edged. It's just beautiful. Everything is perfectly manicured. Just unreal how awesome that place is. How vain it is, I guess. It's incredible. I mean, yeah.
That probably is the way to get advice on the exact course. That's different climate down there.
Oh, yeah.
So
that was all Bermuda right
Deal
there.
with different thing, yeah.
But that's, yeah, I mean, we went in the pro shop. The only thing I could afford was a hat. I mean, some of the shirts were all, maybe the cheapest shirt was $120, you know. It's just crazy. But we took some video in there, took the whole family in there. We enjoyed it, took a lot of pictures there. Went out the back door, you could see hole 18 there, surrounded by water. But we did actually, Brock and I played at another course that's in the same general area, the Sawgrass area, which is just an enormous place called the Yards.
They let you play with your clubs there?
With my clubs?
Yeah.
Oh, I have better clubs now.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I didn't buy them. They were given to me. I've remained true to my vow to not spend money on golf. Although I did buy this hat, I guess. So dang.
Well, that's an accessory. You're wearing it today.
Well, I'm a tourist. Yeah, it's just a hat.
Right.
I'm not going to wear this to play golf. I'm not sweating in this one.
I think Jake's going to start getting into golf, and
it's fun.
We're going to need.
We'll
probably,
you like it.
Yeah.
You and I just haven't ever played together. You don't like it?
We played at the U course.
Oh, we did.
That one time you invited me.
Yeah, the one time I invited you. Right. Yeah. I don't know. Have I told you what my vow is about golf?
Yeah, not to buy anything. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to always enjoy it without getting too competitive about it.
Yeah.
And so I'm back when I first played, the first couple times I played, I'm like, this is a lot of fun. And it's relaxing. It's beautiful, fresh air, you know. I'm like, it could easily not be fun for me because it's hard.
Yeah.
And you want to be, if you're competitive. And so I want to enjoy playing this. And therefore, I hereby now vow I am never purchasing anything for golf. This was back in 1997. I'm not going to purchase clubs, not purchasing shoes, not purchasing clothing, not things like that. Now, I've had things gifted to me, which I'll take, right? But I did say the only two things I will purchase for this sport, well, three things, greens fees, balls, and tees. And honestly, I haven't bought a ball or tee in a long time either.
Really?
My wife buys me balls for Christmas. I guess it's family money, so I have. But tees, I don't. I pick tees up all the time. People leave them laying on the tee box, and if I see a tee that's still intact, I'll put it in my pocket and add it to my collection. I haven't bought a tee in years.
Huh. I'll be darned. I feel like I end up usually probably buying more tees.
Yeah, you would think.
Golf balls.
Yeah.
But
I used to when we played on nicer courses in St. Louis. Like there was not a single tee on any of the tee boxes that Brock and I played at this place called the Yards in Florida. But around here, they're everywhere. Yeah. They don't clean them up. So.
I threw my club handles the grips were worn, and my shoes were old, and I threw those in a trash truck a few years ago. So I've been without clubs, or
You don't have handles on your clubs?
I don't have clubs, period. I just threw them all out.
You threw the whole club?
Yeah. Yeah, I threw the whole club out. I didn't want to save them. You know, I didn't want to
So
store
you're just
them.
done. You're done playing the
But
game.
so I will probably get back into it
Gotcha.
if Jake wants to play. You know, I
Yeah.
could see, you know, going out and playing with Jake and Maya, and
Yeah,
something for us to do. At some
it
point.
is. I enjoy playing with Brock. It's fun. I invited Kayla.
Of course,
to
I
go.
will
She said
expect
she'd
to
like to play.
win, but
Yeah, he usually beats me, but it's usually 1 or 2 strokes.
Yeah.
Like I think
you beat me when we went. I don't know if you
Did I?
remember, but yeah, I think by 4 strokes, 4 or 5. I don't think you played very well.
I played the best round of my life here in Athens the week before we went to vacation.
Did you have anyone
maybe
with
2
you?
weeks. No one with me. It was just 9 holes, you know, and on their course down there, and for the first time I was under 40.
Nice.
For the first time, never been under 40. I knew it. Like when you're playing, you're like you kind of know it, and you want to start adding it up. I'm like, I'm just going to keep having fun, just keep playing. I had 2 birdies on the round, which helped
Nice.
a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
And and so I'm sitting there on the after you know the par 3 on 9 there. I'm adding it up, and I'm like, it's not going to be bad. And then I did it 3 times to make sure that it was definitely under. It was a 39. So
Nice.
which is good for me. It's
Yeah,
good for me.
that'd be very good for me too. I think
Yeah.
the best I've ever shot is 43.
That's good. I mean, I feel like
But
it's
it's not
good.
really good.
I mean, see, the thing is, I feel great about that.
I would feel great, but I wouldn't shoot that now. If I went out, I'd be much higher than that. I guarantee it. But I've tried. I golf right-handed.
No way.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. So I'm left-handed.
Yeah. In everything, right?
Well, except cutting. I use scissors right-handed.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I shoot right-handed. Shoot a gun right-handed.
That's dependent on your eye, though, right? Your dominant eye.
I don't know.
I mean, like, because if you're, you know,
I don't
if you're-
remember deciding
if you're
that.
shooting a shotgun,
That probably is well.
My
It
dominant
probably
eye is
looked
my
weird this way, so I did it that way. And
yeah, my dominant eye is my left, and so I
Yeah.
that's the only thing I do left-handed.
when my first set of clubs were right-handed clubs, I couldn't find left-handed clubs, so just spent a
Yeah.
lot of time out in the yard
I
chipping
think you
right-handed
did tell me that.
over and over again. I can barely swing a golf club left-handed. It's
So,
weird.
can you swing a baseball bat right-handed then?
No,
Really?
no, it feels the same swinging.
You can hit a low pitch right-handed.
I don't think so. It's a grip. I don't know what it is.
Huh.
It's very weird. Your body just don't move the same.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But like, yeah, I feel the same golfing left-handed as I do swinging a baseball bat right-handed.
That's an interesting phenomena.
Yeah,
Yeah.
might just be me.
You are an interesting phenomenon myself. Yeah.
We're talking about all the time we spend golfing, and our topic today is going to be all the things that we have to do.
Yes. Yeah. Well, do you want to read it? Like, should I?
Yeah, I think so.
we
Yeah.
recently came across a post on social media that really kind of struck a chord, I think, with both of us, and it talks about one of the biggest misconceptions about coaching sports is that coaching is primarily about practices, games, and winning. You know, it's about those things. And yeah, I've read that now a couple times. It's sort of a long post. But I think the more I've read it, I found myself going, yeah, this needs to be a podcast episode. In fact, it probably could be a series of episodes to open up season 14 here.
True.
Because we are not going to get through the whole thing.
Right.
Because there are lots of points that we could draw out from it and have build a conversation around. Because if anybody who's listened to us has coached for any length of time, you know that the hardest part of coaching isn't drawing up plays and running practices and creating practice plans. It's the hardest part is leading people and navigating everyone's expectations. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what this post is about. Making those difficult decisions and having to make decisions that somebody is going to say is a wrong decision, regardless of what it is that you do.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like reading through that, we can read it, but I've always said, if you are a basketball official, you're halfway to being insane.
Yeah, yeah,
Because you're never right on a call that you make.
yeah.
I think it's like the hardest sport to officiate.
I would agree.
But there's so much going on, and there's so much criticism. Regardless, if you call foul, the other side doesn't agree with it. You go back down the court, call foul on the other team. That not someone is always upset with you as a basketball official, and that I was like so. I will not be a basketball official ever. That has been my stance. That's been my vow.
People who officiate and they do multiple sports like football, basketball, baseball. A lot of officials do all three of those sports. A lot of guys I've talked to said that basketball was their favorite.
Yeah,
like Jason Wright.
Most officials say that.
I think it's because of the constant movement. They are probably engaged in the game more in that sport than any other.
Yeah. Yeah,
aside from behind the plate umpire,
be more involved with the game.
Yeah,
in basketball.
Yeah,
but what I'm saying is I read. You read through this, and it's like kind of the same. That's our life.
It is. It really is.
We're getting.
It makes me want to quit coaching and start officiating instead. It's easier.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I was thinking. So I was kind of beat down, thinking, man, that's rough. Because it is.
Yeah.
It is true.
How can we read this and then turn it into an encouraging, positive podcast? That's our goal, right? So.
Well, I think sometimes it's just good to get the perspective out there for people and to have the conversation, and so people do know. And some people are like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
You guys don't have to deal with that, or you don't do that, or what it is. So obviously, always open to hear from people that don't necessarily agree with what we're saying or has questions with what we're saying or anything like that. We'd love to expand on anything that we talk about, but it's sometimes just good to bring it to light.
Yeah. Talk about the things that sometimes we don't talk about out loud. We've always said that's what we want to do here.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And we want it to be an interactive podcast. So let us know.
Bring it on.
Yeah. So here's the post. I'll read it. You got it there too?
Oh, that's on my phone.
I'll read it. I went ahead and put it on a large font on my computer so I can just read it right off of here. So, one of the biggest misconceptions in high school sports, and we should say too, this is not a post that you or I wrote. It was written by a gentleman. I wish I actually should have copied and pasted that so we could give him credit. Need to look that up and put it in the show notes maybe. Yeah. But this is someone who used to be a college baseball coach, I believe, maybe a college football coach. But also a high school athletic director, former college coach, and a parent. But he says this: one of the biggest misconceptions in high school sports is that coaching is primarily about practices, games, and wins. The reality is that coaching has become one of the most challenging roles in education because coaches are expected to wear dozens of hats while being evaluated from every direction. Every parent, player, administrator, and community member often has a different expectation of success. One family wants college recruiting to be the priority. Another wants playing time. Another wants winning. Another wants player development. Another wants discipline. Another simply wants their child to enjoy the experience. The challenge is that those goals frequently conflict, and coaches are often expected to satisfy all of them simultaneously. Most coaches are balancing far more than what happens between the lines. They manage team culture, player conflicts, parent concerns, academics, transportation, fundraising, budgets, equipment, scheduling, eligibility, social media issues, and the emotional needs of teenagers. At the same time, every roster includes athletes with different abilities and goals and motivations and commitment levels. Some dream of college athletics. Some are trying to make varsity. Some simply want to belong. Building one program that serves all of them is incredibly difficult. Perhaps the greatest challenge is decision making. Who starts, who plays, who sits, who travels, who gets moved up, who gets cut. Every decision creates opportunity for one athlete and disappointment for another. That's a great line.
Yes.
Every decision creates one opportunity for one athlete and disappointment for another. Even well-intentioned decisions can be viewed as favoritism or politics when seen through the lens of an individual family. Recruiting adds another layer of complexity. Coaches are expected to help athletes pursue college opportunities while also managing the needs of an entire team. Supporting one athlete can sometimes raise questions from another family about their child's opportunities. Social media has amplified many of these challenges. One lineup decision, one difficult conversation, or one emotional moment can quickly become public discussion, often without the full context. There are also pressures many people never see. Pressure from administrators to represent the school well, pressure from parents to provide opportunities, pressure from athletes to help them achieve their goals, pressure from communities that often measure success by wins and losses, pressure to retain athletes in an era of increasing transfers and movement. And all of this occurs while coaches are trying to develop young people, not just athletes. What makes coaching difficult is not that people don't care, it's that everyone cares deeply, but often about different things. Parents focus on their child, players focus on their opportunities, administrators focus on the school, communities focus on results. Coaches must somehow balance all of those interests while making decisions they believe are best for the team. And the author concludes with this. As a former college coach, athletic director, and high school administrator, I've learned that most coaches are not trying to hold athletes back or play favorites or make life difficult for families. Most are simply navigating competing priorities, limited resources, and difficult decisions while trying to do what's best for kids. Because at its core, coaching has never really been about managing games. It's about managing people. And that's what makes it both incredibly challenging and incredibly important.
Yep,
That is the coaching life.
Oh, yes. Good line.
We
Good word.
added that, yeah.
William Payne is the author of that. He's the state system-wide director of athletics at Pinecrest Academies of Nevada.
Okay. So a high school,
And he looks like he did coach
did some college coaching.
some college coaching as well. So yeah, and did some recruiting as well. So
Yeah. Yeah.
which I guess most
Touched on all those
small
subjects
college
in
would-
that. Yeah, it's a heck of a post. I mean, it's absolutely hits a lot of things there that coaches are that we don't always think about. And so, coaches, we appreciate you. You have a community here in our podcast, and so let's chat about you.
Yeah, I didn't think about it. I'm kind of looking through the comments, and just to see, if there's any,
Interesting comments.
some conflicting, because you see that a lot of times where people will, even officials.
Yeah. Oh, boo-hoo.
Yeah, right. Well,
yeah.
they get paid to do it,
Yeah.
whatever it is, but there's not a lot of.
Well, one of the things I think one of the points that I think an overarching point in this entire post is I think could be this, that coaching has changed dramatically over the last 20 years. It really has. But is it actually harder than it was 20 years ago? Or has it just changed?
Yeah.
I mean, one of the reasons why I think we could say that with a relative, amount of confidence is because we're seeing the coaching community overturn a lot here in recent days, in recent years, and in recent days even. In our own area, we've had one extremely successful high school baseball coach basically told, you don't need to apply next year. And another who has been successful, was a successful player, and alum, and recently took over that program, 5-6 years ago?
I think a little bit longer than that.
A little bit longer than
I think
that.
he's
Has
been there about 10 years.
had success.
A lot of success.
Play a very difficult schedule.
Yes.
And
Yes.
basically non-renewed. And you don't know why, right? But sometimes those stories do rise to the surface, and a lot of times it has to do with they made somebody mad.
Yeah.
And you're always going to make somebody mad because like what the post said was it doesn't matter what the decision is.
Yeah.
You make this person happy, you're going to make this person mad.
Yeah. And don't do this often, but protecting let's say the school board who might be probably, well, we won't get into that, but I don't think there's any argument that the time the school board decides not to bring a coach back for whatever reason. People will say, coaches will say, they don't get the support from those people that they needed. But the problem with that is that school board are hearing from people that they answer to.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they're put in a tough situation
it's a tough spot.
too.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times you'll hear people say, well, if you complain enough, a change will take place because the people in charge are getting tired of hearing the complaint. It's not quite that simple, but
sure.
At a basic level, they want to make people happy too in the decisions they make. And sometimes it's easier just to not evaluate the successes and the value and everything that a current coach brings and say, well, let's bring in someone new. Yeah.
And the challenge that might be ahead of keeping that person, but working through the issue, right? Whatever the issue might be.
But on top of all the other issues that they're trying to,
Yeah, exactly. Like why is that something that they have to deal with? It's just sometimes easier to say, let's just go a different direction.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. But I, when I say coaching has changed, I want to make sure that I clarify. It isn't the X's and O's. Like the X's and O's haven't changed. Like in our sport, teaching a bunt's the same. Teaching bunt coverages, or teaching a zone defense or calling plays or whatever. Those are largely the same. What's changed are humans. Mm-hmm. Humans, families have changed. Dynamics have changed.
Dynamics, I like that word. Yeah.
Culture has changed. Mm-hmm. Parents now have much greater access. Everybody has that. It's not just parents. Everyone, the community has greater access to your program because of social media. Athletes have more options. Social media magnifies everything. Transfer culture is huge. There's a podcast episode right there. Just title it Transfer Culture and talk about how that has changed sports. And so I do think it's different in those ways.
Yeah, I think it's different. I'm trying to spent a lot of time over the last 2 months trying to figure out how exactly it is different and what that means, for this upcoming baseball season as a coach.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our lifestyles have changed, and there's still there's polarizing aspects of that.
Right.
You say parents have more access, and they do. And I would say there's parents that are, we've talked about this before, helicopter parents, use that term, that just are, have their hands in every aspect of their child's life that they can. On the flip side of that, and in some cases this is a lot, there's parents that aren't involved at all.
Yep.
So, right off the bat there, you have an extreme opposite of the way one kid's going to approach today and the way another kid will,
the way the kid is going to approach the day, but also sometimes the way you approach it as well. You might show, as a coach, you might know that about the home life, and so you show this kid a little more attention or a little different kind of attention, and so this parent who is a very good parent, maybe a little on the overbearing side, a helicopter, whatever you want to call it, they might say, well, you're showing favoritism.
Yeah. Because
you're obviously spending more time talking to that kid or whatever. I am spending more time talking to that kid. That's like this. But that's where I think another issue here that this post brings out is fairness and equality are not the same.
Yeah.
Fair doesn't mean equal, right? It's like I'm just trying to help create some fairness here in this kid's life. Yeah.
Yeah. And, why are you doing that? Because you care about the person.
Yeah.
You feel like that they need that more than, this other kid might need. They'll get more value out of it. Sometimes it's hard to see that side of it, as a parent that, I'm not sure, maybe you should spend a little bit more time with my kid too. But
and you genuinely do. I mean,
well, you spend a lot of time with all of them.
Exactly.
For sure.
And that's what I mean. Like it is fair in most contexts. It is fair. It's just that it might be more with this one or that one. I mean, it's just like, you talk about how you hate the end of the year awards and things like that, right? Are those fair?
No.
Sometimes they're not fair, but sometimes.
Well,
I mean, you're going to give the kids that performed well
as
the
long
award
as you
that they
understand
deserve, that they earned, right?
The situation, they're fair.
Yeah,
They
and so
are what
if
they
a kid
are.
performed well and they met the criteria for earning the award, they get the award. And another kid's not going. Some other kids aren't going to get the award. So there's not equality there, but it's fair.
Yeah.
Because this person they deserved it, right?
Yeah.
Like not everyone gets to be offensive player of the year. But the ones who get it, hopefully, it's fair.
I would say it's subjectively fair. How about that?
Well, yeah. Whenever you have voting, it's going to be subjective. Yeah.
True. Right. But it is a vote.
There's some criteria still involved.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
And even the criteria, people might argue in the game of baseball, is pretty subjective because who's creating those batting averages? Who's saying that's a hit or an error? Things like that.
It's not across the board.
But still,
that's true too.
Yeah. But also, I think coaches are pretty honest. Like when I'm sitting in the room with our guys, we all kind of know. Like we all played each other twice. We know this is the best defensive player of the year, right? We know, I mean, that guy's. There's no. It's usually a unanimous decision.
Well, I think what goes through my mind is kind of like the college football argument of, listen, there's only 2 teams that get to go play for the championship. We need to expand that to 4 to make it more fair.
Right.
And then we expand it to 4, and it's like, you know what, the 5 and 6 team, they're getting cheated out of. We need to expand it, so we continue to expand it. Like the process, there's always going to be.
Where is it now? 12.
Yeah, there's always going to be an issue with a process like that. You know what I mean? It's not going to be perfect. Is it perfectly fair?
I did the same thing in high school football, right?
Yeah, well, and that's
ago.
when you talk about end of the year awards. Like, there is probably going to be a kid on the all league team that is not as good as another kid that didn't make it.
That didn't make it. Absolutely.
And if you look at that, that's not really fair.
That's not really fair. Yeah.
But
it's reality.
What the fix to that is going to generate more unfairness too. So there's no way,
because the only way to fix it is to say we're not doing the awards.
Maybe,
and that's not fair to those who deserve it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Who genuinely deserve it.
Yeah. Or you say there's no restrictions. You're just going to vote on the top.
Yeah.
20.
And if one team has them all, then
that's not fair, right? Someone would end up saying that, but that's not fair.
But it's fair if the criteria is these are the best 27 players,
right?
Yeah. Your team has 9, and this team has 1.
That's what I say. So if you understand the process, it's fair,
right?
It is what it is, and we know going in.
See, here's the reality.
I hate talking about this because
but this is what this is about, right? This is the stuff that you and I have to navigate as coaches. Like, who are we going to nominate? When you get, and then you get in the room and you have the discussion, and you're fighting for your kids, and you come back and you give the awards out, and you got some ticked off people saying, "Why didn't my kid get this? You must not have done enough."
Yeah,
I did everything I freaking could, man.
Yeah,
I mean, but
and a lot of people, because there's changes in the process, so a lot of people think they know how the process works because that's how it worked 10 years ago.
Yeah, right.
And it doesn't work that way.
No, anymore. It's the TVC awards are completely different now than it was 10 years
but
ago.
They think they know.
Right.
So then they're like, well, I know what you did there.
Yeah, you're not voting on your own kids. You used to select your own kids.
Yes.
Completely. Now you're not even voting on them. Yeah.
Right.
Which I like. I don't mind that.
I don't either. Yeah. I think that's fair.
That's the fair way to do it. Exactly. Yeah. But no, I mean, it's just funny that like any number of these topics we could chat about forever. And that's the issue, is that coaching isn't just about the games, the practices, and wins and losses. It's just, it's about so much more.
I do, but talking about change. Do you remember? Were you in all league selection in high school?
Well, I know I was my senior year because, well, I don't know if it was all league or not. Well, yeah, I could probably look back. I remember having those TVC plaques.
Do you remember thinking
about it? The TVC plaques
haven't
haven't changed much over the years, but I know I was all district because they handled the district all-star game a lot different back then. And I remember it was at Rio Grande, and I got to pitch against Bob Evans, actual Bob, the old man.
Oh, really?
It was a simulate. It wasn't a big showcase game, an actual game. Like, I mean, it was a game. We played. It was two different teams that played, but they also did some like fun things. Like they brought in the old Reds fantasy team. Like my parents have a picture of me hitting off of Brooks Lawrence, who pitched for the Reds years ago.
What?
He was like 65 years old when he was out there pitching. And yeah, we played a couple innings against those guys. Joe Nuxall was there. It was pretty wild.
That's pretty cool.
And they said, "Hey, Bob Evans is going to." I was pitching, like because I was going to be the starter of our game for our team, and so we had to play these in the first couple innings or whatever with these guys. And they said Bob Evans is going to come up to bat in this next inning, and he's going to hit a home run. I said, no, he's not.
He might, but the next at bat, he's taking it in the ear.
This is what they're going to do. Your right fielder is going to have a ball that he's taking out with him, and you're going to throw Bob one pitch. Whatever he does with that pitch, your right fielder is going to throw it over the fence. He's going to get an honorary home run. He's going to run around the bases.
Nah, start someone
I'm
else.
going to hit him then.
Yeah.
No.
Start someone else, boy.
My thought was, I just don't hit this old guy. Just don't hit him. So I lobbed it in there, and he swung at it and missed it, and then they threw it over the fence.
Do you ever remember thinking about all league, all district before you got the award, before it was handed to you, and said, "Hey, you made all district"?
Do I remember thinking about it? Like,
Yeah, like through the season.
I wonder if I got this.
Or going into the
into the season?
Yeah. No.
Not at all.
And I only know of all the times I played, I only know for sure of one person that made all district, and that's because of a story that in conversation he told me later. I'm pretty sure I know some guys that did, because I know the good, or that shoulda. Like, I remember the players that were good on our team, they're really good, but I don't ever remember it being a topic of concern. Like, I want to make all league, or I wonder if I'm going to make all league.
Well, I think this idea of all league and all district and all state has magnified so much in recent years because of another reality that is an example of how the day is different, and that is the access, the social media, look at what people do for their they leaked the all league stuff prematurely this year. And there was like only a handful of coaches that received it. And within an afternoon, there were social media graphics posted on Twitter of it was all state, the all state. And so like those kids get these really cool graphics, except the ones that are made by AI. Those aren't cool. Those are cheesy. Stop using AI to make your graphics.
There's a discussion.
Please.
You sound like my kids.
Stop. They all look the same. As soon as you see it, you're like, you didn't do that. I mean, I get it. It could be helpful, like if you want to generate something really quick, but there's just too much. It's too gaudy. I like simple stuff. And all the people in this college, like that are studying to create that stuff, right? They despise it. Students hate it. Your kids hate it, don't they?
Oh yeah, they make fun of it.
Old people use AI.
I used AI to generate like I'd say the end of the season here. I've used AI to generate some stuff, and
it had that slanted font that looked like a paintbrush.
I think I do a because I don't like. I know what you're talking about, but I'm like, let's keep. I
want the block letters.
Yeah, I want it simple. Like, don't make this stupid.
You can't get away from that look though.
But it's the people's faces that change.
It is.
Like it
is.
Like, I made our camp that we're having this week.
You had a guy in that picture I'd never seen before.
He wasn't on our team. He was a stand-in for the picture. Yeah. And they're like, you can tell. Yeah. And I made our all league. It wasn't a great picture. Like, it wasn't. It was just a background, and I used a picture of the player and the background. I said, put the player on the background, and then I just did it and put him out there, and they're like, who's this guy?
Who in the world is this?
Like, what do you mean? It doesn't even look like
Jeremiah was behind a catcher's mask, and it still didn't look like him back there.
I think Baez looked a lot. His all league or end of season looked a lot like him. But
I tried to clean up a picture of Ethan Edwards from last year. There's a really good photo of him at shortstop, You know, like he backhanded a ball and he's getting ready to go into the throw. And it was on that field we played in the was a district semi, I think, down in what was that? What was South Point, maybe?
Oh, yeah.
Is that where it was?
Yeah.
And because it was turf and they had lights, they let them host. But the outfield was the worst outfield I've ever seen in my life. Honestly, those.
Coach, we're trying to gain followers.
Hopefully they've got a new AD and a new coach, because they needed some work on that. We showed up and it was pitiful. It was absolutely horrible. They had junk in both dugouts. We were cleaning their field for them before the game. It was crazy.
Boy.
But the outfield was nothing but dandelions. I mean, it was just those white flowers that the bees pollinate on, it looked like snow out there.
Makes me itch.
And so the photo of Ethan was great, but it didn't look like grass behind him. And so I put it into AI, and I said, turn the background, the grass that's in the background, make it, get rid of the white flowers and make it look like grass. Well, it did, but I'm looking at it, I'm like, well, it's not Ethan. Like that, it changed his face too.
I actually quizzed both. I used Gemini and ChatGPT both, and they gave me an explanation for why
that happens.
Couldn't replicate the image for some reason, or whatever. It has to do with pixels and things like that. But okay. Because I've fought with it. Leave the player the same.
Exclamation point. Yeah.
But
I got one for you. Go. Okay.
But I wanted to close.
Okay.
My point about the kids wanting to win those awards is an example of the way I would say coaching has had to change, and it's not the answer. Like a lot of old school coaches out there right now might be hearing this and saying, "Well, I'll take care of that real quick."
Right.
But the problem is you can't, and because they want what they want, and if that's something that's important to them, to get the most out of them, because there's two ways. They could be playing really well and achieving that and getting close to that, so you can encourage that and use it. They might not be playing very well at all, and think, well, I'm losing my chance to get it, and it's going to impact them in both ways. And if you're trying to get the most out of your players, you have to be able to pivot on things like that.
That's how you have to coach that guy.
Right.
That's his value. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things you got to navigate.
Yeah.
And you got to navigate a lot of things. I mean, think about it this way. Think about it in terms of stakeholders for your program. Who are the stakeholders? Every stakeholder is going to define success, and most of them are going to define it differently.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Like this could be one of the biggest issues here, I think, that coaches face without being able to necessarily define it, without being able to describe it. But I think here's an example. Like, what does success look like? And let's say you put a panel of people, and you let them answer it. Maybe they don't hear everybody else's answers. Like, you have them write it down. Like, okay, what does success look like? Parents, what does it look like? Usually, for them, it's my kids getting opportunities. If we're honest, right? I think if parents are honest, that's
in some way. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there are parents that are like, no, I want the team to be successful, and I just want you to be fair to my kids, right?
Naturally, there is a desire to see your kid, I think, get opportunities. 100%. Is a good way to do it. Regardless, even if your philosophy is, I want the team to do well, and you're able to eat the fact that your kid's not getting as many opportunities because the team's doing well or whatnot, if you're able to handle that better, you still desire that.
Yeah. And it would be more successful in your own heart and mind probably if the team was successful and your kid got the opportunities. You're defining that. Yeah, it would be for me. 100%. Yeah. You ask the players, what's successful to you? A lot of them would be, I want to play. Mm-hmm. I'm on the field. That's what success is for me. Administrators don't want any complaints.
Yeah.
Right? I want you to represent our school with class. That's probably what your administrators want. Community, got to beat our rivals. You better not lose to fill in the blank, whatever that team is. Right? Why are we playing these guys? They're so much smaller than us. Right?
Yeah, why do you lose to them?
Right. Your assistant coaches are stakeholders,
Yeah.
right? What do they want? We got to develop, make sure we're developing the team. Sometimes your assistant coaches may have kids on the team. So then you got, and sometimes your head coaches have kids on the team. But here's the reality is those are all the different ways people define success. Those are all your stakeholders, but you're still one as well. And what do you want? All of those things. You would love to be able to do all of those things.
Yep.
And it's an impossible reality to be able to do all of those things because sometimes when you fulfill one of those definitions of success, it actually conflicts with another in that same list. You can't satisfy one without disappointing the other.
Right. Yeah. You see that kind of come to, well, you never see it because the discussion doesn't happen. But, if you've been around youth sports enough, you've seen the group questioning of the lineup or, regardless of the sport.
Yeah.
Why isn't this kid playing more? Why isn't that kid playing more? And, if they would sit down as a group and make the decision on who should play, they're going to have a hard time doing that.
You have a hard time coming up with the final product.
Now, if there's three parents that want to have that discussion, they might be able to come up with it. But once they do, there's going to be two parents over here that are upset with it. So.
Yeah. I read a post at the beginning of the baseball season this year on Twitter of a coach who, in his parent meeting, he brought a stack of lineup cards, passed them out, and said, I want every one of you to fill out the lineup on day one right now. What should it be? And I don't know if they actually did or if it was just his way of making a point.
If they did, that's a point in itself.
It is.
That what the lineup should be.
Right before we even start. Right, exactly. Yeah. But I mean, that's what, we say it's an impossible reality. It's an impossible thing to navigate, but that's what leadership is. I mean, you got to. I mean, coaching is leadership, and leadership's under constant evaluation. The Bible tells you that you shouldn't desire to be a leader. Why? Because a leader is going to be judged more strictly. It tells us that in the book of James. Right. And that judgment isn't some future day, when you've passed from this life. That judgment happens now. And we see that, we know that, we experience that. And so you're under constant evaluation and you have to be able to deal with it or get out.
Yeah.
Whether coaching has changed over the last 20 years or not.
Yeah.
If you can't deal with it, get out. Find something else to play golf.
Well, and unfortunately,
that's what's happening.
That is what's happening.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah,
not only are some guys being asked to not reapply, some guys are just choosing to not reapply. And you go to your coach's clinic every year and you see different faces. It's amazing how much turnaround there's been at that event.
Yeah. I hadn't think about it. It's just the coaches that we know are not coming back now. It's like you have relationships with these guys.
Uh-huh.
They're well respected amongst the coaching group.
Yeah.
You just wonder if that's probably not a perspective that's considered much,
right?
When these decisions are made. But man, I mean, it's going to be talked about.
Yeah.
Why would they do something like this? Why would they allow that to happen? And just people that's been around them and coached against them and things like that. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. So. Mm-hmm. I guess just that's another. I guess you could say, opposing coaches or fellow coaches is another stakeholder.
Yeah, it is right because they understand. There's a fraternity, and I don't know. I'm assuming it might be the same for other sports. I've not been at those other conventions. I've not been a high school football coach or a volleyball coach or other. But we know in our profession or in our coach in our sport, it's a fraternity. Mm-hmm. It's a brotherhood in many ways. I mean, you go and there's collaboration, there's genuine friendship and love and relationship, and you play against that guy. It's a little different feel that day. For those 2 hours, you want to beat him, but then afterwards, it's right. Hey, let's make sure we go out to eat again at the clinic, and just enjoy sharing stories and things like that. But it's just because we're all competitive,
right?
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's those are the invisible things, right? Like that post brings up a lot about what coaching is that people don't see. And, you know, like if you ask coaches, if you go to the clinic and you stand in front of those coaches and you say, hey, let me ask you a question. How much of coaching actually happens on the practice field and on the game field? Like what percentage of your coaching happens in those two arenas? Because that's usually what people think about when, like, do people know how much time you're spending on your field right now? Right? I mean, and I guess that's a phenomenon of baseball. Like basketball coaches aren't waxing their floor, things like that. But some of them might. I don't know.
Yeah, some of them might.
None of the schools I've ever worked at, I've ever seen that happen.
Definitely do. You know, there's definitely things that they do to take care of it. Not always, but
certainly,
some. And some baseball.
Yeah, they're sweeping things.
Some baseball coaches don't
work on their field either. Yeah, and you see that when you show up and play them.
Well,
the district, like that district game I went to. They were just gifted with beautiful turf facility, and they just let it run to trash. So.
But yeah. Some coaches don't need. They have people to work on it. They have a ground crew. That do it for them. And this, you know,
and honestly, I will say this: like that's not a complaint. Like I enjoy working on mine. Like, would I like to have some help? Yeah, of course. And would I like to have more resources? Yeah, of course. But I really do enjoy.
Oh yeah, I enjoy it too. I don't know how you couldn't. If you didn't, you would quit. We wouldn't coach. I don't think
because it's a big part of it.
It's so much.
It's a big invisible part of it.
Yeah. You have to enjoy it a little bit. Mm-hmm. You know, there has to be that.
Yeah,
to a certain degree. I mean, I like it when and I don't like it right now when there's crabgrass and clover all over.
But that's why you're there all the time,
right?
Because you got to manage that. Yeah. But I mean, there are a lot of things. You know, we if you're going to be able to do anything on your field, you got to do fundraising. So you're doing fundraising efforts. A lot of the fundraising that you do, some of it may include the kids, but we have kids that play multiple sports. And so I have people all the time ask me, well, why don't you have your kids out here doing this? Well, because they're at football practice. Yeah. They're playing basketball. That's why they can't work this concession stand. That's why I've got to be on here to do it. I mean, and so I recognize that. Now, if I was in a school district where most of my kids just played baseball, I'd make them be at all the fundraising stuff.
Yeah.
But I can't mandate that.
Yeah, if they just played baseball. But we don't really have that.
Right, we don't.
You know,
and
I don't know the many schools in our area have that.
Guess who's doing a lot of the fundraising then? You and me.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, fixing field equipment, interacting with administrators, just fighting for your kid, your program, things like that. There are a lot of, and then realizing that every coach in the school district is also doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And so I having to kind of understand, okay, this is responding in this way or not. You know, there are just a lot of things I think that many people, a lot of people understand it. They understand. Yeah, there's a lot. You guys do a lot more than just coach games and practice.
Yeah. Well, but definitely people that's done it before do.
For sure.
You know, but wouldn't say it's different than other walks of life. You know, the administrators are in the same boat.
They are.
You know. Athletic director, people.
Multiply it. Yeah, we're just talking about coaching one sport. Athletic directors is a very thankless position.
Yeah.
Because not only do they have parents that get angry at them, they have coaches that get angry at them.
That's true.
Right?
Well,
want their
teachers and
their sport is the most important sport.
Yeah.
Right? Well, for the athletic director, no, your sport isn't the most important sport.
Mm-hmm.
Our program.
Right.
All of it. All of our kids, all of our athletics, all of our everything. And so they have to have that big vision while also helping to support your sport.
Yeah, I would say
your athletic boosters, everybody. I mean,
there's a perception that athletic director's job is they just hire coaches when a lot of them don't at all.
Sure.
But they get saddled with the blame and maybe
Right.
give a little bit of credit with the
Well,
coach
yeah,
succeeds.
sometimes the athletic director doesn't hire the coach, but they get like, well, why'd you hire that guy? Because
Right.
you're the athletic director, right?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah. So you're
That's
going
a good example of that. But,
right. I mean, in many ways, a coach and an athletic director is in the business. This is going to sound funny to say, is in the business of disappointment. Right? I mean, it sounds harsh, but it really is kind of true. Like everything is scrutinized. Everything is scrutinized. And so it's like, this is the disappointment business. That's what I do. I just disappoint people.
Yeah.
But you have to know. But like you could sit with another AD or another coach and joke about it, right? But you also know, I know that more good is coming out of what I'm doing than disappointment. I get that, right? But all you hear about is the disappointments.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, those are the challenges
Yes.
that you.
That's what leadership
that you
is.
face.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. Again, if you can't handle it and keep moving forward positively, you really shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
You should get a job where you don't have to interact with people, because we're not managing a sport; we're managing people.
I hear angels singing.
Yeah. Yep. Somewhere out in a field where I can pick tomatoes. We don't even have tomato fields down here anymore. It's all solar panels.
Yeah.
I haven't driven that route down through Racine in a while, and I'm like, this used to be tomato fields. It's just all solar panels now. You know what I'm talking about? Where they do the
like going towards
road
Ravens
construction,
Road?
33. Yeah.
You know what's odd? How often have you driven down that road? You just went there for
Not
like
that
vacation?
far. Haven't gone. Yeah, only when I'm going on vacation.
The cool thing about those solar panels that I didn't realize is they move.
Yeah, you could grow tomatoes underneath them, I think. Can't you?
Probably.
Yeah. They move based on where the sun is.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So
Just
'cause
automatically.
I noticed that one. I was like, I didn't know they did that.
Yeah. Are those panels going to be powering the new nuclear plant that's coming in down there?
No,
The nuclear plant's going to be powering other things.
yeah, the data center that's
The
going
data
across
center that's going across the river. Yeah.
I did read that is getting a massive data center. NVIDIA has pledged,
Oh yeah, I knew about that.
I think, billions of dollars, like 250 billion or something like
Wow.
that, crazy, to build like this huge data center that'll employ 2,500 people operating. So in Piketon. But there's kind of.
I won't ask you if you're pro or anti.
I'll be honest with you. I haven't
Yeah.
looked into it
Yeah.
enough. I don't. It's like I know it's not good. People say it's not good for the environment. Uses the water supply.
Yeah.
Uses up a lot of energy. I'm like, yeah.
Right.
There's probably other things in our lives that we've incorporated that are very similar to that.
Yeah, we've gotten rid of a lot of other energy powering sources that also made our water really dirty and contaminated, right? Like coal plants and power plants. That's what we were told, right? That's why we're getting rid of these things, but you gotta have energy somehow. So, is there enough energy from the sun and the solar panels, or do you
And
create it in other ways?
the trade-off of the jobs, like there's a nuclear plant that is in talks of being put in,
Right,
in
in
that area
conversations,
that you're
yeah.
talking about, and people's concerned about that. But all we do day in, day out is say, man, we have to get industry in this area
I know.
somehow. So it's like,
I know.
okay, here's an opportunity to get industry.
Yeah.
What are we going to do?
Right.
What's the trade-off? So that's tough situation to be in.
Well, I mean, you
guess.
think in our particular area, of course, we've gotten way off topic here, but it's a fun topic. It's not a fun topic. Sometimes it's a depressing topic, but like in our area that we grew up in, along the river in southeastern Ohio, a huge transition took place because of what you might call a laggard leadership style. Malcolm Gladwell would have called it that, I think. A laggard is someone who does not think that something that is happening it's just a fad. It's not going to change the world in any way. And if I remember correctly from Mr. Gerlach's history classes in Pomeroy, the steamboat industry was big, right? Because we
Yep.
were right on the river, and they wanted the railroad, but railroads were being built everywhere, and like, this is faster. We're going to be able to ship goods a lot faster than steamboats can, and so we want to build the railroad, through all through Pomeroy and all the way up the river. And he's like, no, we're still going steamboats. So they built the railroads in Columbus, in Central Ohio, and Columbus blew up. And I remember Mr. Gerlach saying that if you can't go back and change it's not a Back to the Future type thing. You can't for sure know this, but we'll be the first to do railroads here. Our southeastern Ohio might look a whole lot different today than what it does, which means you and I would have grown up probably in a different culture, a different atmosphere. And I'm very proud, glad of the way I grew. I mean, I'm not disappointed. But I guess to go back to the point is sometimes, okay, that laggard mentality kind of stuck sometimes, don't you think?
Yeah.
Like we need industry. Well, in order to have industry, you got to have change. Oh, we don't want anything to change.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, I know I put a lot of thought, just what are we going to do? What are we going to, to make things different, change things. And when I read that, I was like, wow. And then people are, maybe we should. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we shouldn't. I don't know. But it'd really be nice if we could get, create 400 new jobs in Meigs County.
Right.
Or, I'm sure Piketon feels like it'd really be nice if they could create 2,500 jobs in their area. So
I'm really curious to see how life and just that just geographically and culturally, like the area there on Route 2 in West Virginia where that Nucor plant is being built, because that's supposed to bring in thousands of jobs, right?
Oh yeah.
And that's happening now. It's being developed. Like that whole area is being developed. Imagine how much more it's going to develop once those jobs are there. Yeah. You know what school district that is?
Is it Hannon?
That is Hannon, West Virginia.
That's what I thought.
One of the smallest, poorest school districts in even that state.
Yeah.
Right? Like they try. It's sad when they try to field a football team because it's just sad.
That'd be awesome, wouldn't it? If they came back and just
hammer people, like to see Hannon, West Virginia state champs. Yeah, and it would be like, what's their big school division? It's AAA or 4A.
They're 4.
Is that big or small? Yeah, they go opposite.
They're single A.
But they're single A now, which is the smallest school
Yes.
district.
Oh, and then
imagine they get big. I don't know that they would get that big, but it'd just be cool to see like that school district all of a sudden become the most wealthy school district. The most affluent.
We went down this summer. There's nice in Hurricane, West Virginia, which
they
is
got
near
a really nice field. Yeah,
Valley Park.
Yeah,
is they have 3 turf fields and really nice facility.
Oh, that's not their high school field. That was a park.
Oh, I don't know.
Their high school play there? Does Hurricane play there?
I don't know.
Oh.
I assume they have.
I saw the pictures of that field from Legion Ball.
For
some videos.
That wasn't Valley Park.
Oh.
That was like a mile down the road from Valley Park.
Everybody's getting turf fields.
Yeah.
And everybody's getting hitting facilities. Do you see what Wahama's doing?
Yes.
Buddy?
Yeah.
Why can't we just land in a school district that says, yeah, we're going to build a hitting facility or we're going to build a turf field?
I was told we were going to.
Well, I have been told that too. Hopefully, yeah.
We better get off.
Anyway, let's get off.
We better close this off.
Yeah. That's right.
Well, I think we got to close her up. So
yeah, I've got a meeting here in about 10 minutes. So yeah, but why don't we come back to this because there's still more to talk about. I think, don't you think? I mean,
we'll come back
we'll
next
make this
week
a little bit of a series.
Hopefully, if anyone has any questions or comments, snide remarks or anything like that, we'll get them over the course of next week. And we can respond to
them. Well, we won't have anybody who have seen or listened to this episode because they wouldn't be expecting that we put one out. So we have to be. It'll probably be a few episodes for anybody.
I expect our listeners to be waiting.
Jump right back in.
Yeah, they're just waiting. Right. Like they're just looking at their phone, waiting for it to refresh with
hopefully
Coaching Life podcast episode.
Well, let's do this. Let's make a point to say something like this after every episode. Maybe it'll help us grow. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify, our podcasts jump up in the search of looking for like coaching podcasts or something like that. And so it helps other people to discover it. It only takes a minute to do that. So if you like our show, please do that. I think that'd be a good thing to see. We have a handful of rating, and we got a pretty decent rating, I think, on both those platforms. Handful of reviews. I think one negative one I saw.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and you got to have those, right?
Sweet.
Yeah, if you're making everybody happy, you're not going to really do anything. So,
Somebody's gonna look at that.
I think so. It was less than 5 stars.
Oh, they didn't say anything. They didn't say anything.
No.
Oh.
So anyway, yeah. But also, like, not only that, but there's a topic you want us to discuss during the season 14. Email us, respond under Twitter or Facebook. If we post we'll post the link to our episodes. Please feel free to jump in and give your
absolutely.
opinions. Yeah.
All right. Haven't said this in a while, but we'll see you next week.